What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be checking out the McFarlane Toys Movie Maniacs Series 5. This is Jason X, Uber Jason. Okay, so let's find out how tall Jason is. Putting the tape measure next to him. He's roughly about 7.5 inches in height. For accessories, he comes with a standard fare for Movie Maniacs. In this instance, you get yourself a Movie Maniacs base, which, as the years have progressed and future Movie Maniacs series were released, the display backdrop got considerably smaller, almost to the point now that you've just got this lower stump. Still some interesting looking details, that being a skull, and you've got the carved etchings of Movie Maniacs into the bone. Flip it around, there's the standee portion of it. It's basically just 2 points, 2 connector points. Let me see if I can actually take it apart to show you. The poster would sit inside the crack, or the little gap in between the front and the back, and there's your little 3 peg points, connects just into the back like so. Sometimes I've considered the idea that putting the poster in first and then pressing against it helps it hold in place, but I guess you could just easily slot it in there as well. Let's talk posters. Here in this instance, Jason X would of course come with, would come with the Jason X poster. The poster itself is interesting, as it does have the original Jason on the one side and then Uber Jason. I'm not making it up, his name in the credits is Uber Jason. On the other side, and then the girl in the middle being reflected off of his blade. It's a neat looking poster, and again, I'm glad that it would have been included with Jason X. So we'll put that right over there. Also comes with an upgrade, and much like Jason, his machete also gets an upgrade. Here it's more like a kind of a vacuum formed sort of metal blade. It's really cool looking. It's got some nice shading there around the handle portion. Otherwise, other than that, really, it's just a softer kind of piece of plastic. But it does look neat, and it complements an upgraded Jason. I think it really does look quite cool. He does only have the means to hold it really in one hand, as the other hand is kind of spread open. So to fit it into his hand, it's just simply a case of wedging it in between his fingers. And there he is holding the new upgraded. Helps if I actually turn it the other way around. There we go. That helps him actually cut things. Put the handle that way, and you can have him displayed with holding the machete in hand. Alright, so let's talk about this figure. This is a figure that I had, not recently, but a while ago, reviewed. And subsequently, I sold it. Not ever thinking to myself I would ever want it again, and then sure enough, ultimately I did want it again. So this guy, this fellow, ended up having to go on eBay and ended up picking himself up another one. Of course, the prices weren't what I was originally paying for these. I think the initial pickup of Jason X cost me probably about $15. This pickup was even close to $15. Anyways, let's have a look at some of the details of the only Jason X figure to be released. NECA, take notice, please, and release this guy in an ultimate version. I hope we certainly do. A little 411 on Uber Jason. Of course, anyone watching Jason X will know that Jason gets himself an upgrade, completely blown away by the female robot on the ship, and gets basically just reconstructed using metals and whatnot to give ourselves Uber Jason. And I have to admit, the look of Jason here was pretty cool. It was interesting. It looked still like Jason, but definitely had a lot more of a mechanical, kind of augmented look to him. So let's go ahead and start with his face, and we'll kind of work our way down. His face is much like the rest of his body, an upgrade. Now, in favor of a hockey mask, he kind of gets himself this kind of really cool Mad Max sort of metallic mask. Still has the air holes. No, I'm not sure he would actually be using it to breathe. And now in place of his head, he's almost got this kind of brain top area to his head. It's really a neat look. His eyes now are piercing red, although The figure doesn't translate it nearly as well as it did in the movie. In the movie, he's got these very vibrant red eyes. Figure-wise, it has it, but not nearly to the same level as what we got in the movie itself. Some really nice, cool details here. All in the little brain and just the what will be the, well, was the reconstructed head portion of one Jason Voorhees. The head sculpt is still good. Even after all these years, this is one of those movie Maniacs that I think has still held out the test of time, and it's still a figure now that's a good representation of the figure, or of the character that it's based on. But the only thing I would say is the one detriment to this figure is that he's pre-posed and suffers from having very little to no articulation. But we'll get into that in a second. Having a look at some of his other features on this particular figure, I do like the fact that he's got like a fabric outfit, but it looks like it almost blends itself, like the outfit is part of his body now. It's blending itself now into the more cybernetic end of his torso. So he's got a mechanized upper shell. He's got some armor plates around his arms and of course around his forearms. It really has a neat design to it. When I look at it, it reminds me of the Wes Craven's New Nightmare Freddy Krueger glove, in which it had more of a bone kind of skeletal sort of presentation. There's the back of the figure, and again, you've got that carryover of the fabric. Even like the fabric is nicely sculpted as well. You know, these little wrinkles, and the paint also, I think, elevates the sculpt, which is already good, incorporating some grays and stuff so that the creviced areas, the more recessed areas of the wrinkles, are the darker black. More cybernetic components making up his leg. It's interesting that they would have flipped, you know, alternate in the, it doesn't, I guess it makes sense because his leg, I believe, gets blown off, so of course it has to be reconstructed, and here we got a mechanical, half flesh, half robotic sort of leg construction. On the other side, there's his peg holes to attach to a peg display stand, which sadly this figure doesn't have, although it doesn't stand with any difficulties whatsoever. It stands perfectly fine. Let's run through his posability. And you can hold your breath for this. It's not going to last long. His head rotates left and right, technically all the way around. His arms rotate. And his hand rotates. No, there's more. His arms rotate all the way around. His hand rotates here. His waist swivels. And brother, that's it. This part down here, these legs are softer rubber, softer plastic. Doesn't sort of, it's not at all a detriment to the figure at all, but it is a little bit of a softer plastic down here. Here, I guess it's still kind of this softer plastic also, but it seems a little bit softer down below here. Dated, yes, but really still a fantastic representation, and might I add, the only representation of Jason X. Just about the only thing that makes this particular figure feel dated is his pre-posed body and his lack of posability. His sculpt, I think, still fits well into the collections that you may have nowadays with ultimate versions of some of the pieces that NECA has released. Speaking of NECA, boy oh boy, looking at this particular figure and loving the design of Jason X myself, I would love to see NECA release an ultimate version of Jason X, something of course that has a lot more posability than what we ultimately got here from the movie Maniacs line in McFarlane toys. Still though, Jason X, if you can afford them, and of course picking these figures up in the aftermarket can be extremely expensive, let me be the first person to admit that. This is a great figure to add to your collection for the chance, perhaps, that we may never get ourselves a NECA Ultimate release of this guy. Whatever you may feel about the movie, I personally think it was a real stinko. This is a fantastic looking design of Jason X, and glad that I got a chance to go and pick him up again. Paid for it, yes. Paid for it hefty, yes. But I was happy that I was able to pick up Jason X once again, and now he's part of my collection once again. Today we were having a look at the McFarlane toys. This was maybe Movie Maniacs Series 5, a considerably fan-requested review that I re-review. Today we were having a look at Uber Jason from Jason X. If you guys haven't had a chance to hit that little subscribe button down below, make sure you do so. So, of course, more videos will be coming your way as well. And with 2018, of course, the hashtag for this year is new comments in old videos. So if you haven't had a chance already, head over to my main page and just kind of scroll down the videos section. If there's perhaps a video that you haven't had a chance yet to watch, make sure you watch it, and always let me know in the comments section down below of that video. So I always like to know that you guys are watching the older videos along with the newer videos as well. Speaking of newer videos, of course, many new videos coming your way, guys. I don't want to tip my hat and reveal my cards too soon, but I just want to tell you that there will be a lot more horror-related figure reviews coming onto this channel. As always, guys, thanks for watching as you always do. I'll see you next time.